If you receive a login code, a verification prompt, or an urgent message from someone who sounds familiar, do not act inside the message. Stop, open the service yourself, and verify through a separate channel. That is the single defensive lesson in today's global scam and cyber awareness briefing. The headline comes from the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. In a May 2026 public service announcement, the FBI warned about an emerging phishing-as-a-service platform called Kali 365. The advisory says it was first seen in April 2026, was primarily distributed through Telegram, and could help cyber threat actors obtain Microsoft 365 access tokens. The important point for viewers is not the brand name of the kit. The important point is the technique. Modern phishing can target the session, approval, or token layer, not just the password box. For years, basic security advice focused on never typing your password into a suspicious page. That advice still matters, but it is no longer enough. The FBI says Kali 365 can help attackers bypass multi-factor authentication without directly intercepting the user's credentials. The advisory also says the platform lowers the barrier for less technical attackers by providing AI-generated phishing lures, automated campaign templates, tracking dashboards, and token capture capabilities. Here's what that means in plain English. A victim may see something that looks like a normal productivity, document, or cloud sign-in workflow. The page may even be a legitimate Microsoft page. But if the workflow began with an unsolicited email or message telling you to enter a code, approve a device, grant access, or continue a sign-in you did not start, the danger is not just a fake password field. The danger is authorizing access that the attacker can use. So the first protection is behavioral. Never enter a device code or approve a sign-in because an email told you to. Do not trust a link just because the final page looks familiar. Open your browser, type the address yourself, or use a saved bookmark. If the message claims a document, invoice, shared file, or urgent account action is waiting, verify with the sender using a phone number, chat, or email thread you already trust. The second protection is administrative. For organizations using Microsoft 365 or similar cloud platforms, review app consent, session controls, sign-in logs, impossible travel alerts, and unusual OAuth grants. Train people that MFA fatigue, device code prompts, and consent screens are security events. If an account may be affected, revoke active sessions, rotate credentials, review mailbox rules and forwarding, and check whether any third-party application was granted access. Those steps are defensive and should be part of an incident response checklist. This is also where AI changes the scam environment. A separate FBI advisory from December 2024 warned that criminals use generative artificial intelligence to facilitate financial fraud. The FBI said generative AI can increase the believability of schemes and reduce the time and effort criminals need to deceive targets. In other words, the old clues are weaker. Bad grammar, awkward wording, or generic stock images used to be useful warning signs. AI can make the message cleaner, more personal, more patient, and more convincing. That does not mean every polished message is fake. It means the verification method has to change. The question is not, does this message sound professional? The question is, did I expect this request, did it arrive through a normal channel, and can I confirm it without using the link or phone number inside the message? When money, identity, credentials, documents, or account access are involved, verification should be independent. Voice is part of the same problem. In May 2025, the FBI warned about a campaign impersonating senior U.S. officials through malicious text and voice messaging. The advisory said actors used text messages and AI-generated voice messages to build rapport and could use that access to target personal or official accounts. The target group in that advisory was specific, but the lesson is broad: a familiar name or voice is no longer enough. The FTC has made a similar consumer point about family emergency scams. In its consumer advice, the FTC warned that scammers can use AI to enhance family emergency schemes. The safe response is to resist the pressure to act immediately. Call the person back using a known number. Contact another family member. Ask a private question only the real person would know. Create a family-safe word before a crisis happens. And if the caller demands secrecy, gift cards, crypto, wire transfers, or immediate cash movement, treat that as a major red flag. There is a pattern across these cases. The scammer wants to control the channel. They want you to stay in the email, the chat, the call, or the portal they introduced. Your defense is to break that channel. If the message says your account is locked, go directly to the real website. If the caller says a relative is in trouble, call the relative or another trusted contact. If an executive asks for an urgent payment, verify through the company's normal approval process. If a document sharing link asks for a code, do not enter it until you have confirmed the request outside the message. Big events create another version of the same risk. The FBI also warned in May 2026 about spoofed FIFA-related websites ahead of the 2026 World Cup. The advisory says spoofed sites may imitate legitimate branding and use altered domains to gather names, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, and banking information. This is not only a sports problem. Scammers use tax deadlines, disasters, concerts, conferences, school admissions, and shopping seasons the same way. They borrow the urgency of a real event and wrap it in a fake domain. For users, the checklist is simple. First, slow down when a message creates urgency. Second, leave the message and navigate independently. Third, verify the person, domain, and request through a trusted channel. Fourth, use a password manager, because it can help detect lookalike domains by refusing to autofill on the wrong site. Fifth, report suspicious activity quickly, to your IT team at work, to the platform being impersonated, and in the United States to ic3.gov for cybercrime and reportfraud.ftc.gov for consumer fraud. For business leaders, this is not just a training problem. It is a process problem. People need a clear rule that no payment, credential reset, vendor change, app consent, payroll update, or sensitive data transfer happens from one urgent message alone. Build friction into the moments where the cost of a mistake is high. Require callback verification for payment changes. Require admin review for OAuth consent. Monitor for suspicious forwarding rules. And make reporting safe, fast, and blame-free so employees speak up early. The bottom line is this: AI did not invent social engineering, but it removes many of the mistakes that helped us recognize it. Phishing as a service lowers the skill needed to run campaigns. Voice cloning weakens trust and sound. Spoofed websites exploit search and urgency. Your best defense is not paranoia. It is a repeatable habit: pause, leave the channel, verify independently, and report quickly.